everybody, and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I want to talk about a topic that has been on my mind a lot recently. It's actually an experience that I went through about 2 to 3 years ago. So basically, for those of you who are not familiar with my channel or have never met me before, the short story is that back in 2018, as part of my company, I used to be featured on a business show. It's actually a Vietnamese version of Shark Tank. I was founding a startup and I just saw, this is a good opportunity for me to advertise for my company, to advertise for my product. I didn't expect anything from the show whatsoever, so I just signed myself up and I thought, it would be a good opportunity. The worst case scenario is that I would just walk away from it learning something. So I signed up for myself and made a presentation, went for the preparation and everything, and then it aired, and it was an interesting experience in that it's created conversations and people started to talk about it. Because of how much conversation it generated, the product went a little bit viral for a while in Vietnam. And what I didn't expect was the personal experience, like the personal impact that it has on my life. I always thought of becoming famous as something that was good, because people getting to know more about you and you reach out to more resources. So that was my reasoning. I thought the more that I was known, or the more the app was known, it would be better for everybody involved. Subsequent weeks after the show was aired, after our part in the show was aired, I encountered something that was very interesting. I started to get recognized, and that's something that was kind of scary for me because I was super introverted. Even though I had this business, I was doing networking and all that. Deep down, I'm a very introverted person. There was a morning when I woke up and I wasn't I had no makeup on and I had nothing, I didn't look like how I look normally, formally. So I went down on the street for a coffee, and I remember as I was waiting for the coffee to be made, there was a lady standing behind me, and she tapped on my shoulder, and she recognized me, and she said, were you that girl? Were you that girl that went on the show? And then she started to, giving me feedback about the app as I was waiting for my coffee. And in my head, I was like, lady, I'm not even up yet. My mind is still sleeping. I said to her, very gently that, really appreciate for feedback, but I feel the better way to do this is to send it to my team. And I was waiting for my coffee, so I cannot remember what she was telling me. And actually, a lot of what she was telling me were very, very good points, and I want my team to hear that. I walk away from that feeling a little bit, a little bit invaded, because it happened to me a lot over the next weeks as well. People would stop me in the middle of the street, or people would stop me in a coffee shop, or when I was doing grocery shopping, and people would stop me and give me feedback about my app, which I really appreciated. It just felt weird for me usually going through that. You're probably thinking, this girl, she's just complaining about becoming recognized, or I don't think it's healthy, for an average human being to be constantly, facing with strangers approaching you with conversations. I don't take that as it should be a compliment. I understand where you're coming from. It should be a compliment. Some people might think that way, but for me, it was it was disorienting, and so I wasn't dealing with that very well. I feel super self-conscious whenever I go out because of the frequency. Well, it doesn't happen that often. It's just that we live in a very small town, and Ho Chi Minh City was small and super packed with people, and so it's kind of very easy to bump into someone that watched the show and know who I was. So I wasn't super famous or anything. It was just it was quite popular at the time. Right now, I think most people already forgot about it. But back then, it was like for the first 2 weeks that I was like that the show was aired. It was quite disorienting. I got super self-conscious from it. I got looks from people. I got people coming to me and talking about the app when I wasn't really asking for it. I mean, some people told me that it's something that I should appreciate. It's lucky, like I was in a lucky position. Yeah, but personally, I wasn't prepared for it. I think that's what I was meaning to say. I wasn't prepared for that. The next reason why that I didn't feel well about that experience was when I was recording, when I was at the studio and recorded with the sharks and everybody else. I made a presentation that lasted for like 45 minutes. So I was an hour or something. So there was a lot of like back and forth between me and the judges, the sharks of the show. When the show was aired, like that episode with me, a lot of the content was cut down. Up until this moment, like I was a little bit disappointed when I saw it, and I felt like a lot of it was cut out, maybe on purpose. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, like, but I have to admit that I feel really disappointed when it happened, because I felt like a lot of my answers were cut out, like the important ones. From the way that it was shown to everybody else, it felt like I was missing a lot of answers, and so people walking away from that night when the show was aired, people walking away saying, oh, she's just like a pretty girl with a business, and she wouldn't have gone this far if she wasn't so pretty. That comment was something that stuck with me, I think, for the past 2 or 3 years, and it kind of took a toll on my mental health, because I would start questioning myself constantly. I used to look at myself as someone that was hardworking and someone that would just, go for what I want and would work relentlessly for it. I would try all like different methods before I gave up on something. That was kind of like the person that I saw myself as. I felt like I was this hardworking person. There would be people that come to me and said that I got this far because I was pretty, because of the way that I look. Back then, I was in this mode where I was open-minded and I was learning about the world, was learning about myself. So I was very open to feedback, and that was the feedback that I got. I got this far because I was pretty, and that didn't sit very well with me. While I really appreciate that I went through that experience, that I got that opportunity to showcase my business and to advance in my career, I can say that definitely it was really challenging for me mentally, and the loneliness of it, like it was really, really lonely, because nobody would understand, from other people's perspective. I was just complaining about my privilege, and it was really lonely because you kind of like, everyone talk to you like they're talking to an image. They're not really relating to you as a human being. They don't see the humanity in you, but they actually treated you like an object, like, oh, you're pretty, everything you say must be true. I got that a lot from people, and every time I heard that comments, it's just like, it just hit me a little bit, like in here, like it just, you feel down, you feel disappointed. So I was treated like that, and I had no friends to talk to about that experience. Like my friends wouldn't understand. My take from this whole experience is that I try to grow, but in a manageable and slow manner, instead of pushing it so hard and not knowing what was happening to me. Like I was really depressed when I was treated like that on a daily basis. I became a little bit like separated. Like I have a public persona. I have this personality where I was like very fun and very outgoing, and I could talk about things for hours, but I also have this side of me that was getting darker and darker, just by seeing how people saw me and how people treated me. And I didn't have time to reconcile the two sides of me. And that's why I was struggling so much. And I keep feeling this constant battle, between the two sides of me. The one that is like really fun, outgoing, and the other one that was like wanted to cry all the time. Like my experience with Shark Tank was the most memorable, I think the most memorable moments of phase in my life. I have something to look back, and in terms of my work, in terms of my personal growth, I have something to look back and be kind of like semi-satisfied, like, yeah, I did that. My lesson from it is that I think I should have more time to myself and reflect on, how can I manage all these changes happening around me so that I can adapt better, so that I can learn more about myself, so that I don't break down. Which happened. It's like almost like a year ago. So I think the next time that I try for something, I gotta be more mindful of that. I guess that was a misleading title that I had. It didn't really make me a bad person. It just put me through a negative phase in my life that I didn't manage very well, and I'm still dealing with it. With newer experience, as time goes on, I will become better. So I'm still recovering, as I keep saying that. That was just it for today. Now I'm just gonna go make dinner. It's almost, where's my phone? It's almost, I think, 6 already. Sorry, there was a message on my phone. Yeah, it's almost time already, so I'm sorry that I was rambling a lot. So, thank you everybody for having been with me up until this part of the video. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment to let me know that you were here. I guess I will see you in the next video. Take care and bye.